And other part of APT is persistence, right? So persistence, what does that mean? Well, persistence means it's going to be able to stay inside a network, inside an organization for a very long period of time, until unless it is discovered, right? Very simple. So what do you think about it means that it's going to be able to not be detected by your antiviruses, by your firewalls, by your intrusion detection systems, your IDSs, anything. So it basically flies under the radar, because it's not been discovered, right? It's not a 0 day, it's not been called for, it's not documented in any, so none of the antiviruses know about it, right? And none of the operating system companies, who write these operating systems, they don't know about it, and they have not issued any updates on it. So nobody knows about them, right? So that's why they are able to persist for a longer period of time, right? And all of these different like security products, which are trying to, your firewalls, your antiviruses, which are trying to defend an organization, they rely on some information bank, right? They rely on that information, and based on that information, they can then safeguard you. So they're not able to stop it, right? And so that's why, so plugging and probing is one thing which basically a lot of people do, and that's the way they find that the server has a malware, or it keeps like fishing for other stuff. So basically, it is a more proactive game, which as a security specialist you need to go in and learn and play, and it's definitely something and really important piece of the specific APT, right? It basically has its own feature set, and you need to understand, the firewalls won't protect you, your intrusion detection systems won't protect you, antiviruses won't protect you, so it's all on you. All right. So now let's talk for the last piece, that is threat. So APT, so advanced persistent threat. So threat. So threat, as you know, is the motivated hacker or team of hackers doing this. So what is the motivation of an APT, right? Well, one of the most important ones is espionage, and obviously to steal trade secrets or insider information from organizations. Obviously, intellectual property theft is another big motive behind these kind of APTs. And we have so many more examples, like stealing like partnership agreements, stealing like sensitive documentation, your tender forms, RFP forms, and so forth. So people know what other people are bidding. So all that is part of APT, and is behind, and is what kind of threat it could pose, and the motivation behind it. All right. So let me talk about examples. So for example, 2 years ago there was an agreement between China and Mexico to build like a high-speed rail system. All right. So China was awarded the contract by Mexico, and Mexico suspected that there was some breach in their system. Mainly, actually, what happened was Chinese hackers had broken into the Mexican government, and they got details from the Mexican government, and they knew the budget, the business plans, and they also knew things of what are the partnerships are there, what are the vendors are there, what are their bids. So they basically had an advantage, right? So they must have submitted their bid in the last second, and they had an advantage. So they could tweak their bids, they could do whatever they want. They were sitting inside the system. Even after submitting their bids, they could go and tamper and do whatever they want with it, right? So the advantage was the hackers, they knew everything. They had, in this case, China, because Mexico suspected them. So agreements, manufacturing processes, business plans, all kinds of sensitive information was leaked. And this is actually an eye-opening example for government organizations. If you as a security analyst are working in a government organization, you should definitely look into what kind of security measures there. What is your stance on APT, and how can you be an APT defender? All right.